the Florida governor, Trump, decides that he's not going to turn himself in, that he's going to stay in Florida and come and get me, Florida's not going to allow that process to go forward because it's a former president, because it's Donald Trump. Well, that could break us.
Oh, for the love.
I mean, indicting a president, indicting a politician is a normal thing in this country. Trying to say the legal system no longer applies in this country if you try to apply it to our political guy.
This is the legal system applying, you moron.
That is something that can break the rule of law in this country. That
don't
is
sit
something,
here
I
and
mean, if anything,
I'm not
is
gonna
the
make it
first
to the
proverbial
soundbite.
shot at Fort Sumter today.
This is going to turn into tit for tat, and I don't want it to. But it will. Especially if you get somebody like me in elected office, which I'm never running. But I'm just saying, anybody with my mentality that gets into elected office, oh, yes, I'm going for a reckoning. And that worries me. Because that's how you get a banana republic. It's not going to be the response to the initial offense. Democrats have created this mess. But there are going to be a significant number of people that are on our side that want equal offense. And I understand it because they feel like that's the only way, that's the closest they can ever get to accountability. So I'm not judging you because what else are you left with in this system? I understand it. I get your rage entirely. I share it. What else are you left with in this system? But at the same time, it breaks it. The three-pronged offense against America is working, and it's coming from within. First off, you have the wokery. You have the unequal application of the law. And then you also have the fallen influence around the world that all started from within. All of it. Case in point with some of the wokery. And they're using all of the help of the tech that you see. You had Joe Biden who issued a proclamation for the Trans Day of Visibility, which is also simultaneously the Trans Day of Vengeance. Or I guess that's what they're calling it now. I don't know. The president issued this proclamation, and then he also was tweeting about it. He tweeted this morning, quote, on the Transgender Day of Visibility, we want you to know that we see you just as you are, made in the image of God, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's made in the image of God. But if someone believes that their condition is made in the image of God, then they think that they were put in the wrong body. God doesn't make mistakes, so that immediately nullifies that argument. Then I wonder why you have to have all this extensive surgery in order to correct something you say that you were rightfully made as. Why didn't he single out Christian victims murdered by a trans domestic terrorist with a repeated special statement like this? Visibility, no one has any problem seeing any of these people. But that's not what this means. That's stupid, meaningless language. Day of visibility, that means day of absolute your subjugation. You're supposed to accept and go along and never question. Someone else's reality must be yours. That's the new defined measure of quote unquote acceptance. Tolerance is not a thing anymore. Tolerance, you started as tolerance and then it turned into acceptance. And then now all of it is you must accept or you're guilty of genocide or you're guilty of murdering people. If you do not validate someone else's self-perception, you're killing them. It's gone very, very far. All of this, all of it designed to undermine, drive division, and to undermine national unity. Twitter, using the tech that I said that, that we all use, Twitter has been deleting thousands of tweets about the planned Trans Day of Vengeance protests. And, I mean, they were actually deleting tweets of conservatives critical of it. People were telling Elon Musk, and apparently, I guess he got involved with it. You still have these people in these positions of power. All of this. So this wokery, the wokery isn't about trans. It's not about any of the alphabet stuff. The wokery isn't even about race. It's not even about sex. All of this is a very easy way to describe the Marxist culture war. It's gone from money to identity. Because the money wasn't working so well. It's really hard to swindle people out of their hard-earned money. And Marxists have tried over the years. So now they've tried a different approach. I've been writing about this since 2012 with Derek Bell and the introduction of CRT, critical race theory, into academic institutions all over the country. It's shifted from class warfare to identity warfare. And it's working. Way better than the class warfare ever did with Marxists. Coming up, we're going to talk about the unequal application of the law. And if Trump doesn't go to New York on Tuesday, is it going to be a historical test of states' rights? I know Rachel Maddow's just chomping at the bit for some sort of civil conflict, which I think people need to slow their roll. Because I'll say this, allegedly, I do not want to see a civil war over alleged payments to a piece of ass.